So when I first moved in here, I guess the like cooker or something hadn't been cleaned for a while, or or no, it wasn't that. It was that the fan, the cooker fan, hadn't been put on for a while, and I was making something that was kind of smoky, and I put the fan on, and the thing that was like a pebble dropped and then bounced behind me. I was like, the fuck was that? And then I looked, and I swear, the biggest spider that I have ever seen in the UK, like Australia big, but it was wrapped entirely in web. So something else had got it. So how big was that thing? Anyway, I completely forgot about this. Until right now, I'm just about to leave my house, and on the fucking door is another one of these huge spiders. Wrapped in a web. I saw it and I was like, God, that's so weird, because that lump of like fluff, because it's that big, looks like a spider. And then I looked closer and it was. I'll show you. Okay. The fuck is that, man? Shoe. For comparison of how big this fucking thing is. What the fuck is going on there, man? That's not fucking English. I do something about this because I can't leave it on the door. I blew it. It's definitely dead. But I need something long. Like one of these random poles I've never seen in my life. Pole? Jesus fucking Christ. Ooh, I don't even want to. I want to like get it off the door because I don't want it on the door, but also I want to put it next to something like. There's another fucking spider on it. What the fuck? It was fucking eating it. That's the spider. The fucking put a web around that spider. A, B. What the fuck, man? You're eating a fucking tarantula. Jesus. Fucking attached to the. Okay. Oh god, it's on the end of the stick. Oh, not quite. Oh, okay, not quite. Oh god, this is gonna give me fucking nightmares, man. Okay. I think I got it. The fuck? It's going on the floor. Get on the fucking floor. Okay. Okay. Absolutely insane. I can't fathom how it's so big. Okay, so since that fateful day, I have looked up and identified the spider. It is the largest spider in the UK, and it's called the Cardinal spider, which to me, there's something about the name which makes me like want to vom. There's something about the name that makes it seem like it's gonna fucking hunt you and kill you. But the history of the name is really interesting. It's called the Cardinal spider because apparently, also I've never heard of any of these people, but Cardinal Wolsey was famously terrified of these spiders at Hampton Court. So who is Cardinal Wolsey? I don't know, but I'm about to find out and tell you. This guy died in 1530, so that's as much information that I've got so far, but I was so shocked because I don't know why I didn't expect it to be that long ago. You know when people are like, in 20 years, some kid's gonna be in their room and there's gonna be a ghost of another kid doing like the stanky leg. Why is it always a Victorian child ghost? But this guy would be a Victorian adult ghost. Older. When was the Victorian age? I don't know. The Catholic bishop. There's a bunch of other information which I'm sure is like maybe vital, important, and interesting, but I skipped to the downfall and death section of Wikipedia because that's always the most interesting. Oh, this is juicy! So he had something to do with, was it Henry VIII that had all of the wives? So he was like buds with Henry VIII, and they remained buds until like Henry wanted to divorce one of his wives, but then Wolsey couldn't get the annulment, and it says which directly led to his downfall. Let's see what happened. I need people to read the rest of it. So some got treason, and then like he took a journey somewhere and then he died on the way. Anyway, but back to the spider. I had told my mum about the first incident of the spider, the second incident of the spider, and I fucking wake up this morning and different house, same fucking situation. Cardinal spider wrapped in web by cellar spider. Cellar spiders are actually my fave, and I've made sure that my mum doesn't kill any of them in the house. This is a cellar spider, and I fell in love with them over the pandemic. And the reason I fell in love with them was because it was lonely. And then I'm just gonna take my pants off because I'm a fucking period today, which I rarely get because I take progesterone. I'm so bloated. Oh, fuck periods, man, especially if you're not gonna have biological kids. Anyway, spiders. Oh yeah, so I started like watching these cellar spiders, and then at some point they get this like little orb in their mouth, like, and it looks like it might just be a fat spider body, but it's not. It's a ball of children. And then, oh my god, I'm so out of breath. Eventually the children are born. I realized that I was able to like watch the sort of the entire like life cycle of these cool spiders. So the other reasons I both like them and don't dislike them is they're not very fast. So unless one's just sort of like you're brushing your teeth and you don't realize it's like dangling from the ceiling, apart from that they kind of just stay where they are, so there's not this like threat of like you're going to sleep and it's gonna fucking like crawl over your pillow. And the other thing is they look so unassuming because they've got these like little tiny little sort of kind of thin bodies, and they're like very long but very thin slow legs, and so they're underestimated. I've seen like, you know, like big fat fucking hairy spider that looks evil coming towards it, and then I've been like, no, my cellar spiders, don't hurt them. And then what, hang on, I'm gonna set up for this, but like basically, hang on, okay, so what do you, okay, oh no, okay, so they have these like the legs are so long, and then they have like, let's just use Snoozy as an example. So Snoozy, you're gonna be the evil spider. Okay, so Snoozy's coming along, and you're like, fuck, oh no. And then they take their long legs and they just kind of go boop, 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 and like wrap the bigger spider in a web, which now makes sense why all these fucking cardinal spiders I've seen have been covered in like a web. I guess that's the end of the story.